poppin' Ken Fo. We back in the South with it. It's your boy Enoch, aka Knock Knock. Got my boy James, aka Ock in the building. Y'all know what's up. It's the Blood Brothers Podcast. Let's go. Welcome back to the Blood Brothers Podcast, everybody. Y'all know how we like to do it before we get going. Let's bow our heads and talk.
Hold on. You didn't want to pray with your gold teeth in?
Nah, I'm not doing that. I can't.
Bro.
All right. Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this moment. Use us right now. Have your way. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
A to the men.
What's good, man? Talk, man. Talk to the people. Let them know what's up.
Empowering men to become leaders in society under God's law. Consequently, men, women, and children will understand the foundations of a real man, which is me and my boy right here. Shout out to God. Don't ever forget that.
Real man. Talk that talk. All right, so boom. I'm going to put this disclaimer out early because we about to get to it today. We let the man rock for a little while now. I mean, we did a lot of relationship. We ain't been going too hard on the man. We got to get back to our bread and butter.
Our essence.
You know what I'm saying? The essence of why we here. So, y'all know the episode we had, Joy versus Happiness. So, I was like, you know what? I kind of like the concept of verses and things like that. So, today, we're going to do men versus boys. You know, trying to depict the differences because I really feel like there's a lot of boys that on the outside they may be perceived as a man, so they think they're a man. And for you, so basically we're gonna hit the core. Some of you might get offended.
That's cool. That's always cool.
I'll let you know right now. Yeah. But like I said before, we clowns, but when it comes to serious things, we don't play.
Always.
This is one of those things.
No, this is definitely one of those things.
So we're going to get to it today, but all of it is in betterment of you to grow. So don't take it as, oh, they just talking crazy because they think no. Ultimately, we want men to become back the pillars that they're supposed to be.
I like, you know
what I'm saying?
I like that.
So we gotta kind of
you gotta ruffle it. Yeah, I like that. I mean, before we even started, we was kind of on a fast course pace to this because earlier in the week I had sent you the link for Inky.
Yeah.
He was talking about men and what their perspective is as far as accountability.
Yeah.
And it kind of sparked that interest for us. We're like, you know what? Maybe we need to get a little bit more potent with our explanation about what's expected out of a man. Because there's a big difference between a man and a boy. It's literally night and day.
Yeah.
And I think the first people that realize it is women. I think a woman can pick up on, this is a grown man right here compared to this boy.
Yeah.
I think that the problem is women might identify it a little late though. So they'll put themselves in a situation with a boy, assuming he's a man, you know, he's just really not meeting the criteria. So I guess let's start it off with what would be the difference between a boy's mentality and a man's mentality. Let's start off with their view of God, because that's the most important. So you do, I'll do the boy and you can do the man. So you start with the man first.
So if we talking about God, I gotta touch the scripture real quick.
Touch it.
So as a child, I spoke as a child. As a man, spoke as a man. So even though this is very common, it all goes back to the Bible. It all goes back. So when we go to that, so I can speak for myself, an example. If we're talking about how we view God. My view of God was given to me from my parents.
Okay.
as a child. So it was an infant stage.
Okay.
So my job as I get older is to realize, okay, yeah, they may have gave me the foundation, but it's on me to decide how I'm gonna build on that.
Mm.
So as a child, it's like, yo, they're forcing me to read the Bible, they're forcing me to go to church, they're forcing me to pray.
Mhm.
But as a man,
Yeah.
you realize you have to take the time out to do your own searching to
Mhm.
realize, why do I need to do these things? What about these things push me forward in life so that I can become a better man, that I can be
Mm.
who I'm supposed to be? And I think that's where it aligns with becoming a man. Once you build your own foundation, you build on that foundation of who God is in your life.
Okay. I like that. Can I add a little bit to that? Is that
Yeah.
cool? Um, Within that concept of building on your foundation,
Mm-hmm.
it's important to realize that when you're a child, things are forced upon you that maybe you don't really don't understand the root of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But what you're speaking about is the capacity to mature.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm under the assumption for a while now that age doesn't define maturity, right?
Yeah. That's
So
true.
when we
Yeah.
say a man, it really doesn't have an age.
Mm-hmm.
Being a man is a mental state.
Yep.
It's a mental state. It's a mental state of accountability, responsibility, effort,
Mm-hmm.
consistency. All of these things are the mental state of a man. So when you're speaking about a boy, you're talking about an inconsistent, emotionally driven, scared,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, that insecure mind
Yeah.
that is
The
the
key word is
driving force.
emotion driven.
Yes, that is very that is insecure within his own thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because as a boy, I can speak for myself. I was very insecure in my emotions or my
Mm-hmm.
thoughts because I didn't understand them. But as
Yeah.
I matured as a man, I began to s- specify what emotions are supposed to be identified to what situation. I'll give you an
Mm.
example. If a child gets upset at their parent, they'll throw a
Mm.
temper tantrum,
Yep. Yep.
right? But as a man, if a man gets upset at his parents, he has a conversation.
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
the difference?
Yeah.
Now you still have grown men, if that's what you want to call them, let's say in age, maturity in age, still throwing temper tantrums.
That's a
Yeah.
fact. That's a
Right?
fact.
So having that mental state to say, okay, emotions cannot dictate to my actions.
Yeah.
Logic and principle have to dictate to my actions.
Mm.
And through that
Mm.
process, you mature and it makes your decision making a lot more fluent and healthy, which makes you ultimately a better man.
Mm. So I can put it like this: boys act on
Hmm.
situations,
Oh, yep.
men assess situations.
I like that.
So if you're a man in age and you're not sure where you stand, ask yourself, when something happens, situations happen, do I just act on it,
Hmm.
or do I sit there and assess, like, okay, this is what's going on? All right, how do I respond to this?
Hmm.
Boys just react, men
Hmm.
respond.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So if you're the type of person like, yo, I just spazzed out because, yo, they was wilding. No, 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 no. You didn't assess the situation. You didn't realize, like, oh, all I had to do was take this person to the side, like, yo, all right, listen, this is what's going on.
Hmm.
Let's talk about this. But instead, you like, nah, yo, you bye, bye. And then it turns to this whole thing, and you like, nah, I had to do what I had to do. No, you was a boy. You acted as a boy. You
Hmm.
wasn't acting as a man that takes control of situations.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to take control of situations, be responsible. Boys aren't responsible. That's why we try to tell you, like, yo, just because you're grown in age, you may be 25, 30, 35 years old, you can still be a boy. And now let me tell you why. Because at some point when you were a boy, you never dealt with boy things.
Mm.
So now you carry that as to an adult. You didn't mature.
Mm-hmm.
So, and sad to say, it always goes back to a father not being there.
Or a father being there, but
Mm,
being a negative example,
yeah, true.
right? Because you have to consider this. When I was a boy, I had a child. So
Mm-hmm.
a child birthed a child
Mm.
and tried to raise a child,
Whew.
right? But I had to accept that. I had to look at myself and go, mentally, you're not there
Hmm.
to be the father that you need to be for this child,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So taking that self-reflecting look was the trigger to my maturity.
Mm-hmm.
The minute I said to myself, you got to do better,
Yeah.
but it wasn't talking, it was through action.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was maturing, right?
Yeah.
Nothing pisses me off more than when I see men 30 years old or better.
Yeah.
I'll just say 30 years old. I'll give the 20 the leisure, I guess,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Doing the same things I was doing when I was a 20-year-old.
Oh yeah. That's annoying. It's cringy. It's like,
Like
bro.
I've I've adopted the philosophy of, you know, if you're not gonna get it, and this comes from you, because I honestly, when you put me on the other day about patience, I
Yeah.
appreciated that
Yeah.
because it helped me really put things in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's at the point where when you see a 30-year, I'll give you an example. If you're 30, you
Mm-hmm.
have a family, you don't have to be married, but you have a child, you have a woman, and you still out here violating, talking about, I just want to be around my friends and I got to be
Yeah.
outside and I got to do all these things. Not only do you look foolish, it's a reflection of your mentality,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And for somebody who's a man,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the person that's going to make you feel uncomfortable
Yeah. Exactly.
because I'm holding myself to a standard of an adult, right?
Mm-hmm.
A man who has integrity, a man who cares
Yeah.
about his family. Now, I'm not hypocritical in the aspect of thinking like, oh, I'm better than anybody,
Yeah.
but I can't help but to think that how could a 30-year-old man do what my 20-year-old self was doing, right?
Bro.
How does that equate?
Hmm.
Because to me, it's like, listen, I might have not got it right the first time,
Yeah.
but I learned
Mm-hmm.
and I used it as a propelling force to be better. And through that process, that's how I get a wife. That's how I have another
Mm.
child. That's how I have a family. That's how I get custody of my son. That's how, you see what I'm saying? That's how I get to this place in life where what people find offensive, I find a normal thought or a mature thought.
What was
So
it that made you realize that, okay, I need to mature? Because to me, it just seems like a lot of men that still have a boy mentality, they don't ever get to that point in life that they realize, like, yo, I need to do better.
I think for me, what I ultimately realized was the people that I surround myself with says a lot about me,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When
That's
I was
real.
going through my maturation process, I went through it alone, or I
Mm.
went through it with I went through it with you, like
Yeah.
my closest friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't surround myself with people who would help me relapse,
Mm. That's
right?
important.
Right.
Ooh.
So a man makes his
Ooh, hold on,
decisions.
hold on. Slow
My bad,
down.
my bad, my
Slow
bad, my bad,
down.
my bad.
Hold on. Let's go back to that for a second.
Yeah, yeah,
Hanging out with people that make you relapse.
yeah. Because you got to remember, this negative mind frame or this childhood mentality or this boyhood mentality.
Yeah.
This is the disease,
Mm.
right? It's a disease that is potent through bad decision making,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
what it does is it infects your mind,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if I got the cure for the infection, I'm not gonna go put myself in a situation where I can be poisoned again,
That's
right?
real.
So
That's
when
real.
you look at men who are so gun ho on being what we would call in the field or
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
around those type of people, it makes me look at you like not only did you not mature, you don't want to mature.
Mm.
So as a man, I don't respect you. It's more of a
Mm.
thing where it's like, yo, you do what you got to do. It is what it is, and
Yeah.
really it has nothing to do with me. Now, I think the reason why I'm so big on friendships is
Mm-hmm.
because I get to choose my friends,
Yep.
and that's a
Yep.
reflection of my decision making.
Exactly.
And I take decision making very seriously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I choose a friend who isn't living a certain lifestyle, that's a reflection of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm very quick to go, mistake, go about your business, and I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You understand?
That's funny. That's funny because I
Yeah.
was literally having that conversation with one of my boys, and I was telling him like, you're at a point where you're starting to grow,
Mm-hmm.
and even though you're around people that aren't growing with you, organically a separation is gonna start.
Yep.
It just naturally happens
Facts.
when you're moving forward. The people that aren't and they still have that boy mentality and that not trying to get over
Mm-hmm.
to that, the conversations you have with them, it'll start to get lackluster in your mind. They might be excited about it. To you, it's like, oh, yeah, all right. And then
Clown.
you leave, you be like, dang, bro, like something's off. And it's nothing is off. It's just that your mind is changing. You're
Yeah.
seeing more.
Mm-hmm.
So when because truthfully, those people, they just don't see past their situation.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in, let's say, like the hood,
Mm-hmm.
you're in the projects, but you see yourself like you see a way out, a positive way out. You see a route that you can go.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind starts to leave that hood mentality. Even though it's still there,
Mm-hmm.
you start to separate. And the
Yeah.
people that have that mentality, you'll just automatically start to separate. And you'll feel like it's tough because it's like you like, I don't want to feel like I'm better than them and leave them and not chill
Yeah.
with them no more.
Yep.
But at the same time, the more you chill with them, the more you just get pulled back into that cycle.
Facts. That's definitely true. And even with that, considering a man's mentality compared to a boy's mentality, boys want the validation of other men.
Mm,
A man can stand on his own. It's
that's
two
a
different.
fact.
It's two different thoughts,
That's a
right?
fact.
I don't need the validation of none of my friends because I'm
Mm-hmm.
comfortable within myself.
Exactly.
Now, within me being confident in myself, I'm gonna attract like-minded people,
Mm,
right? So
yep.
what happens is if I find that you're not like that, my confidence in myself and my ability to hold myself accountable to morals is gonna ultimately make you feel uncomfortable around
Yeah.
me,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
That's true.
And
That's true.
and the separation that you're talking about, it's more of it's more of a it's a different state of mind,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It's like when so for me, like cheating is a big thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's like one of the worst things I think people can do to another person.
Yeah.
Now, somebody told me one time, I ain't gonna throw no names out there, but they basically said like, "Yo, I want to see, like, he proclaimed like, listen, I ain't never cheating on my girl again. I did it,
Mhm.
I messed up, we working on it, and I'm not doing it again." And
Yeah.
then one of his friends said to him, "Nah, I gotta see you in traffic. Like, I gotta see how you moving in a different space. Like, it's easy to say it now, but let's see what happens
Yeah.
when you at a club or when you did." And I said to him, I said, "Yo, the fact that he even thinks like that,
Mm.
he's infected.
Wow.
He's infected, bro. Because
Wow.
if you tell me you getting out of a certain lifestyle that's not conducive to your health, your mental health, your physical, everything about it, I'm gonna support you."
Yeah, I'm gonna make
But
sure you're not even there.
exactly. So a real man is gonna support you, right?
Mm-hmm.
A real man empowers people. It,
Yeah.
it guides people. It's that support system where you like, nah, that's my brother. Like, he got my back.
Yeah.
But a boy will always try to pull you back to where you were.
Mm.
Always try to put it subliminally, say things, do things because they don't want to mature, so they want you to stay there with them. Misery always likes company.
Uh, it's it's almost like that can go back to even before you even become man. Like if you're like kids, like you got homework and your boys like, yo, let's go play outside. And
Yeah.
you got this project that's due. Nah, I can't. I got to do this project. Yo, come on, let's just go play outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go play outside. You play all night. Then you get home. You don't get to do your homework. Then you get to school, and then you're like, dang, I didn't do my homework.
Yep.
It's that same kind of thing that passes on to when you're older.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it comes to sports, it's like, yo, we got practice today. Nah, I ain't gonna go. And now you can't play in the game. And now you tight. You like, yo, why I can't play? Because you missed practice. And now you mad at the coach. You never took accountability for yourself and saying like, yo, I ain't go to practice. That's why I ain't playing.
Yeah.
So then when you get older, if you cheat on a girl or whatever, and now it's like, yo, why you tripping? Like I only did it one time. It ain't even that serious. And then now she ready to leave you, and now you're like, yo, she bugging. But you're never gonna grow from that mindset. You have to understand, like, yo, I messed up.
Yep.
Don't blame the woman because you cheated. Like, nah, you was bugging out, so I went out and did my thing.
Yeah.
That's not okay. The minute you start validating that and like, yo, it's okay, my girl was bugging. Like, what you want me to do? You have to leave that mindset. You have to take accountability for what you do. Forget about what she did. Do you have morals? Are you able to say, yo, no matter what she do, I'm going to still hold it down. I'm going to be true. And I think that's the issue with a lot of boys.
So with that being said, right, it's sad to say, but a lot of boys are getting married to women.
Whew.
All right. So let's talk about a husband who's a man versus a husband who's a boy. Which one you want? You want the boy or you want the man? You could have the man. I'll take the boy. Go ahead. Because they annoy me. So go ahead.
Yeah, I know you want to go in.
They irk my nerves. So go ahead though.
Yeah. Like in a marriage, man, a man, like I said, can assess the situation. It's able to understand what's going on, what's the climate of the household. Like, if you're having a bad day, I'm not going to bring that to the house. You're not going to come home tripping because of something that happened at work. At the end of the day, your household come first.
Yep.
So as a man, you understand, like, yo, even though I'm dealing with this, I'm gonna hold it down, come home, bring the right energy. Maybe I need to talk about it with my wife. You know, it's little things like that. If the dishes ain't washed, you're not gonna go spaz on your wife. You're gonna be like, you know what? I'm already here. Let me go do it.
Yeah.
You know, you always controlling the climate. You always in charge of what's going on around. You're not stirring the pot. That's what you in control of your environment. Because you are the head of the household. So the energy you bring, that's what's gonna happen. And for me, I always make sure that my energy is high. Even if my wife's in a bad mood or whatever, I'm not going to bring it down even more. My job is to make sure I get the family back right.
Facts.
Now, I mean, we need to get back on this level. So men understand that. They're not going to sit there and bicker and complain. We're going to find solutions, handle it, and keep the family moving forward.
I like that. So I'll give you what a boy would do in that situation. It's hard for me because I have to actually act like I'm retarded to answer it. So since I'm retarded right now as a boy, right, a boy's mentality will always be to blame others for the environment, right? So if you come home and the dishes is not done, why you didn't do the dishes? Why you didn't do this? Right? Cool. You know what? I like this too. Here go a good one. A boy will always go to his friends before he goes to his woman. That's a boy. If you want to meet a boy, any problem that the boy has, he's gonna go to his friends before he goes to his woman. Mainly because of this. When women are married to you, they hold you accountable.
Yep.
A boy never wants to be accountable for his actions. So what he does is he goes to his friends because they're like-minded.
Yeah, they're gonna agree with him.
Two idiots.
Yeah, they're gonna agree with him.
Two idiots talking about.
Yo, she bugging, son.
Yeah. Two idiots, 100%, right? You can always identify a dumb little boy if he wants to run to his friends.
Yeah.
Even more than this, if your friend isn't married, why would you go run to him for marriage advice? He doesn't know anything.
No.
Right?
No.
I can't help but to watch how the Good Boys Club, that's what I'm gonna call them, the Good Boys Club, right? They all adopt the same mentality. So I'll give you, here goes another example. It's like monkey see, monkey dumb.
Yeah.
Here we go, right? They'll go, hey, you know what? Marriage isn't that important, right? They'll tell one of their friends. Now, let's just say there's a group of them that are not married. Cool. Marriage is not important. He'll explain why. He'll go, oh, wow, that makes sense. All right, marriage is not important.
Yeah.
Right? knowing that his woman is expecting to be married, and you should expect it too because you would want to be under covenant with your wife. But that's besides the point. So boom. So you have one dummy telling another dummy, hey, marriage is not important. Then he translates that message to his other friend, another dummy, and they
Yep.
all follow the same patterns, right?
Exactly.
So what happens is when the three dummies come together, they have a dumb conversation about how stupid they sound when they go, marriage is not important. And then the poor women are stuck because
Yeah.
they already put themselves into situations where now maybe they don't want to be somebody's baby moms. You know what I mean? They don't want to be the child and not have the family. They're holding on for dear life, hoping that this little dumb boy could become a man.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
basically, now the women are stuck raising their children and you,
Mm.
dumb boys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Is
you. Thank you.
there that was a perfect breakdown.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Now, is there a way that we could like help women to realize? Because sometimes they deal with so much boys, they think that that's what a man is.
That's part of it. Oh, we got to go through some things.
Yeah, so it's like it's so normal to them
Yeah.
that they won't know, like, oh nah, you're not up to par until they actually meet a man. But sometimes they don't get the opportunity because they're around so much boys, so they don't even know how to differentiate which one is a boy and which one, I mean, is actually not even a man, is at least making efforts to grow.
Potential. A
Potential,
a
yeah.
potential adult.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So this is why it's so important for women not to have sex with these guys. I hate to say it
Ooh,
like that,
let's
but
get to it. Let's get to it.
because it's like this, right? The minute you open yourself up to them physically, emotionally, you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
attached. Once
Mm-hmm.
you're emotionally attached, your mind, it doesn't operate the right way. So there's
Exactly.
some things that you wouldn't have seen if you didn't go intimate physically with them. So
Yeah.
the minute you cross that threshold, you're confused. And I
Mm.
think because a lot of women, I don't want to say they feel pressured, but like they choose to have sex with these men,
That's
obviously,
true. Yeah.
right? It's still a
Yeah.
choice, but it's
Yeah.
just like if you trying to be serious and you trying to look for a husband, just keep it to yourself because
Mhm.
the man will fall through. Like he'll show himself true through the process. So if
Yeah.
you go, hey, listen, I'm not really interested in having sex with you before I get married,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And a man wants you, he'll be like, you know what? I
Mm-hmm.
respect that. Because truth
Yeah.
of the matter is, it's like I'm not trying to knock nobody, but you had sex one time, you had sex a million times, bro. It's
Yeah.
not. This is not a. This like it's a
Yeah.
repetitive thing.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
different. The only difference is when it comes to sex is that when you're with the one you really want to be with, it's amazing. When you
Mm.
just going through women,
Yeah.
it's like it's
Yeah.
you're numb to it. It's like a shell of
Yeah.
you. So that's
Yeah.
the difference. So now if a woman she sees a man that she's interested in or whatever, give us some time. I know a lot of women be
Mm-hmm.
like, what? How much time? The time is when you get a ring after you have a marriage. That's how
Mm-hmm.
much time, right? All this work that y'all talking about putting in, the work means that he's about to make you his wife. So all that that's the best advice I can give. Just wait. Don't give it up so easy.
And I think it takes a man to understand what sex really brings.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It takes a level of maturity to understand, like, with sex, I'm giving her me,
Mm-hmm.
she's giving herself to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's deeper than what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you're trading energies.
The soul tie.
Yeah, that's soul tie.
Facts. Facts.
So it's hard to break down to men like, yo, bro, you don't need to be out here having sex with all these women, especially when their mentality is like, what you mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm out here trying to get it.
Yeah.
But it takes a mature mind to understand. Cause I said it to this dude, and I was like, yo, bro, at some point, you're gonna have to become celibate. And he was like, what? He was like, you bugging. I'm like, yo, bro, you want to marry your wife, right? I mean, you want to marry your girl, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let me give you some game. You have to be able as a man to control everything about you.
Master oneself.
Yes.
Yep.
So let's say there's a period of time where you're married, and let's say she's pregnant and she's going through a time where she don't want to have sex.
Yep.
If you haven't mastered that side of you, you're gonna try to get it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have that
Yep.
fight of trying to get it from somebody else. So you have to be able to have that battle before it comes,
Mm-hmm.
so that you're prepared for it.
Yep.
So being able to be abstinent, like, you know what? All right, we want to get married. Let's not have sex anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be, because if y'all normally been doing it, it's gonna be a little weird. Like, what? We're not having sex no more. But you have to always think future.
Mm-hmm.
As a man, you can't have things pulling you because you
Yeah.
have to be focused.
Mm-hmm.
You always have to be in tune with what's going on. So now let's say you're not having sex. When you're horny, your mind goes in different areas. Your mind goes to different places.
Yep.
So that's why important to have that time that, like, I got to deal with this now before I get to a place where it's uncontrollable.
Mm-hmm. I like that. And
Yeah.
one thing that men realize is that you don't want anything to master over you.
Yeah.
You want to be
Yeah.
the master of yourself as a whole. It doesn't have
Mhm.
anything. It's bigger than sex. It's called discipline,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It's more than sex. It's discipline to what you watch, what you think, what you say, what you eat.
Yeah.
Right? All these things play a part
Yeah.
because
Yep.
what you don't realize is, and I mean, I think we identified this and we say it a lot, but every decision has a consequence,
Yeah.
good or bad. You
Yeah.
can either reap the benefit or you can you can die from the
Facts.
repercussions of it,
Facts.
right? So when you're mastering yourself, that means that your decision making is always on point. There's not a time when you're making bad decisions,
Mhm.
right? And some people go, "Yo, I can't be perfect." You're right, you can't be perfect, but you could always make the right decision,
Mm.
right? You
Mm.
could say, "All right, I'm not perfect," fine, but you can always make the right decision because it's a
Yeah.
choice. It's a choice. They'll say, I'm gonna make a bad decision. Why though? A boy makes bad decisions
Yeah.
because what did you say they do? They react.
Yep.
They don't
Yep.
assess the situation, right?
Exactly.
So
Yep.
if I'm a man and I'm always assessing the situation, that means that I'm never gonna make a dumb decision.
Yeah.
Which it
Yeah.
doesn't make me perfect, but it
Yeah.
makes me wise. Right? It makes me
Yo,
wise.
that's like we said before. Smart men learn from their own mistakes.
Yeah.
Wise men learn from other mistakes. Yo,
Yep.
it's been generations. We've seen it.
It's like
We've seen the fall of men. It's for
Yep.
you to see.
Yep.
So don't act like, yo, I ain't never seen. Every man knows. Every man's like, we gotta stop playing this game. Like, yo, it's over now. It's 20. Yo, we gotta cut that out. Yo, my father wasn't in my life. I don't know what a real man is. We gotta stop that, bro. That excuse is old now, bro. Like, for real, for real. We really gotta stop that.
I mean, I've been over that years ago, but
Yeah, like, that's old. That's old. I never had a man to show me the way. I never,
you know what too though. Now that I'm thinking about it, like even with that, you got to consider this. If you don't know a personal man that you can follow, right, or that can mentor you, anything like that, you can just look up principle, good morals of a man. You can Google it, like,
Exactly.
oh, a good man is responsible. He's accountable.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna throw another one in there. What's the difference between a boy who has morals and a man who has morals?
A boy.
You want which one you want?
I'm gonna start with the boy.
Go ahead, go with.
The boy, his morals come from his own thoughts.
I like that.
What he believes or what he deems right.
Mm-hmm.
What he deems is acceptable.
Yep.
What he looks at like, oh nah, the way I move, that I don't move like that because of what he feels, his emotions.
Yep.
A boy's morals come directly from their emotions. Period. Period. Period.
All right. So I'm gonna touch on that part too. All right. A boy, not only does his emotions dictate to his morals, he manipulates morals to justify his actions.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So let's get into it. A boy will go, yo, I live by that loyalty code. But he'll be loyal to his friends, but disloyal to his girl.
But they won't see that as off.
No,
that's not off.
Nah, they won't. They'll be like, nah, I'm loyal. I'm loyal.
Yeah.
Right. So they'll say, here goes another one. They'll go, I'm faithful. Right. I'm a faithful person. Right.
Yeah.
You won't see faithfulness to your wife or your girl as faithful, but you'll be faithful to your imperfections. What do I mean? All right, let's say you're fat and sloppy. You'll be faithful to eating, right? But then you won't be faithful to your woman, right? If you're faithful, you're faithful. If you're loyal, you're loyal.
Fact.
Now, let's talk about lying, right? I'm
yeah.
not saying that people don't lie, right?
Yeah.
I have my white lies sometimes, like stupid little statement. I ain't gonna say that,
Yeah.
right? Right? Everybody has that.
Mm-hmm.
But a habitual liar is something totally different.
Oh yeah, yeah. You just lying about everything. You just lying just to lie.
You lying just to have conversation. You just lying. You just a liar.
Just out there fronting.
And even with that, right? Let me tell you how consistent my brain, like the waves of my brain is. Because I tell white lies sometimes, and I don't even know. Like, I can't pinpoint one that I do. Like, you know what I'm saying. But I'm pretty sure somewhere down the line,
I'm probably like, yo, I'll be there in 5 minutes when you know you're gonna be there in like 10 minutes.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's a white lie, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I wouldn't say that I mastered lying because I didn't master that.
Yeah.
Like saying I'm gonna be there in 10 minutes and then I'm there 20 minutes later. I didn't master that. So I'm not gonna say that I'm not a liar. Like, I'm not gonna manipulate it to make it seem like, see, I just lie in this.
I don't lie. I don't lie. That's a little white lie. That don't count.
That don't count. You know, so manipulation is driven by emotions, and boys act on their emotions. But a man, nah.
Yeah.
Men,
boys will say they didn't cheat because they just went out with a girl, or I mean, they didn't fully have sex.
We had an argument. Me and my girl had an argument. So we were broken up for them 3 hours. So I didn't cheat,
bro. We all played that game, bro. Yes, like,
right?
No, man.
Here's the difference, though. A man's morals are consistent. He's holy. He's one with his thoughts.
What kind of man, though? A man of what?
Come on, man. You know what kind of man? Don't do that. I wasn't gonna go there. I was trying to keep it PG, but man of faith. One of God's chosen. You know? Right? But this is one thing I will say is that I think I just love God so much because he's so consistent. Right? Because even people who don't proclaim him as who he is, if they follow those morals, they still reap the benefits.
Yeah, and that's why you have good men that still don't believe, but they're still good men.
They're good men because their morals are intact. You can trust them. See, the problem with boys is you can never trust a boy.
No,
you can never trust him. You don't know what he double-minded.
The thing is, boys don't really know who they are.
Yeah. Oh God.
Boys don't know who they are. A man can stand on who he is.
Oh my God.
A real man knows who he is, knows where he stands. Boys, they flip-flop. They got
different personalities.
Yeah, like they act a certain way around these people. They act a certain way around these people. But a real man, he's consistent with who he is.
All the time.
You could put a real man anywhere. He's gonna be who he is.
Yep.
A boy, you'll know, like, yo, dang, he switched up. Dang. And there's a lot of grown men that do that.
All right, so we gonna name grown boys.
Grown boys. That if they in the hood, they gangster now. They about that life.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm out here. What's up? But they get around like guys like us. They all, man.
I'm trying to change my life. I've been thinking about God. God. Yo, the crazy. I seen something, and I. Yo, I seen a guy talking about God smoking an L, right? And I'm like, listen, all right. Let me give a little. All I'm saying is this, right? God cares about your body. He cares about you.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right. To me, it's like, just leave God out of your things.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, don't misrepresent him to try to get some attention or get some validation.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Just he's chilling. Right? You know, he got enough to deal with us, right? You don't need to bring him up. Look, and you know what? Not even don't bring him up. It's just I just don't like misinterpretations.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Like doing basically like doing stuff for clout.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't do it for clout. Like if you live it, live it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying if you really live it, just live it.
Yeah.
You don't gotta put on this facade. Like if you put me in the hood, I'm not gonna turn into this toting gun. Yo, what's up? Throw it up. Yo, I'm out here. No, I'm still gonna be me. Yo, what's going on? How you doing? All right, what's good? Y'all chilling? All right, what's up?
Yeah, I'm
gonna still be me. I ain't gonna turn into this OD thug. Like there's people that will turn into an OD thug. You put them on the block somewhere. Like, no, don't do that. That's what boys do.
I think with that though, it's just what I realized. And for me, like I said, I'm still growing myself, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still growing myself. So obviously a lot of things I'm gonna say, they might not be politically correct or whatever. All I'm saying is,
and it takes a man to understand that. Yeah, yo, I'm not there yet. I'm still growing.
I'm still growing, right? Because
boys have them telling like, I'm good.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I mean they'll tell you like, I'm good, like I got it.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I didn't even think of it like that. But me just understanding that I want to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
And I don't want any lack there anywhere. So so like when I asked you the other day about patience, right?
Yeah.
And you was like, I'm gonna have to explain it to you over the phone. I'm like, all right, just explain it to me over the phone then, right?
Yeah.
So for me, people don't want to hear if they're wrong or how they can improve. They're not. A man is always willing to take criticism from the right people.
Yeah, that's important.
Right? That's very, very important because it's like this. If you're my friend and you care about me and you care about my kids and you care about my wife, you're always going to want what's best for me.
Yeah.
So if you tell me something, regardless of how you're saying it, I'm going to hear it. Right? But a genuine man or genuine friend, he'll know how to communicate with his friend.
Yeah.
Right? So like for me, I can admit my communication style is sometimes very raw. So sometimes I need to tune it down or maybe just say things differently. But I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to sound like, oh, so you like, you feel like this and that. It's not that.
Exactly.
Like that's something I'm really working on personally. Right. So I can say it publicly because I'm working on it personally.
Yeah.
So my presentation isn't a facade as much as it's organically what I'm trying to do.
Exactly.
And the reason why I proclaim things out loud is because I'm a firm believer in the kingdom that everything gets tested. Like the other day with my wife, I said, oh man, I feel that test of patience.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
I said that to him, like, yo, I messed up. I failed my test of patience.
Yeah.
But I had another situation like a couple weeks ago or like last week where I passed my test of patience and I knew it. So as something was going on, I was just calm about it. Like, yo, just let it pass through. And then eventually it passed through and everything was good. I was as it was supposed to be. So understanding that the things that I need to improve on, that's a man's mentality.
Exactly.
Boys are stuck, confused.
Yeah. And the way you are like that for a reason. You're supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
Because there are people that need to hear it the way you give it.
Yeah.
And like the same way, like when I tell you, like me and Mary are growing up in the Caribbean home, you're more so, no, you need to speak up.
Yeah.
And people like Marielle and myself that live that life, they need to hear that.
Yeah.
They need to hear like, no, you're supposed to speak up. You're supposed to be able to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So, and that's why it's good that you have that mindset, because even though it may be raw, that's how it should be. That's how it should be, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like it's still like I said, I still work on my censoring, how I say things. And I'm not saying like I be cursing people. I don't do that. Yeah. I do say things very sharply. It comes up very sharp. Yeah. Right? So if you're fat, I'll be like, you're fat. Like I'm not gonna say like all right, put it like this.
Yeah, and I would in that same situation, I would say like, yo, bro, son, come work out with me. Like, I got some. You want me to send you some workouts? I think, if you got right, your body will look crazy.
Yeah,
but for you, it's like I'm not doing all that. No, you're fat.
You're fat. You're fat.
And that's why I come like, bro, just break down what they need to do.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're saying they're fat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for me, knowing that the way I dish it out sometimes it offends people. I
Yeah.
don't want to offend no one. That's not my.
Mhm.
That's not ultimately. That's not what I'm. My goal, because
Yeah.
you can't be effective if you offend someone,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But at the same time, I'm not in the business of sugarcoating either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to find that common balance between being offensive and being direct. Now, I can't help it if you're a boy and
Mhm.
my conversation is so direct to you that it offends you.
Yeah.
Because truth of the matter is, as a man, I think. Listen, I talk to my kids a certain way.
Mhm.
I talk to my wife a certain way,
Mhm.
right? And it's consistent. Even my friends, like I'm pretty much consistent about how I say things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I always tell people that are close to me, yo, when I say something, ask me why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't, before you get offended,
Mhm.
before you think I'm off, ask me
Exactly.
why.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm very persistent about that. No, no, no. Don't get offended by what I'm saying. If you have a question after what I'm saying, say that.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
what that's doing is that's open up dialogue. So now I'll explain while I'm saying it. And after I explain it, most of the time people will be
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
"Oh,
Oh,
I
all
get what you're
right.
saying. Yeah, I get what you're
Yeah. I
saying.
got it. I
I
got
get
it.
what
You're
you're saying.
right.
I get
You're
what you,
right.
yeah, I get what you're saying, right?"
Yeah.
So, like with you and Marielle, I'll be like, y'all have to say something, right?
Mhm.
Because y'all are not, and this is just across the board. People are not designed to hold their tongue in the sense of crippling,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? You should articulate yourself and express yourself because it's healthy.
Mhm.
That's normal. Like you're a
Yeah.
human being. You're
Mhm.
created in God's image. God wasn't quiet about what he
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
You don't have to, and I think a lot of times too, people just take offense, and mainly young boys, that's
Yeah.
grown
Yeah.
boys, they take offense to when someone says they're wrong,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And instead of going, yo, why do you think I'm wrong? It's like, oh,
Exactly.
you
They
think you
take
better
it. They
than
get
me.
offended. They
Yeah,
get
you think you
offended.
better. You think you better. And it's like,
Like,
nah.
why you getting offended?
Yeah. And it's not
Really
that.
ask yourself: is it your
Yeah.
ego? Like, why? Why am I offended? Because
Yeah.
it might be true. Then, if you're getting offended, it might be true. It just might be.
And if you understand as a man how important decisions are, and then, I'm gonna give you guys an example. And so not too long ago, I didn't see my oldest son for 14 days,
Mm.
right? Now, I could easily point the finger,
Yeah.
right? Something happened, whatever the case is, time slot, whatever, something happened, COVID, you had to get boom, boom. I didn't see him for 14 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not seeing your child is by far the worst thing anybody
Yep.
can go through,
Yep.
right? I live by that. Like I tell people, I go, no, you
Yeah.
don't want to not be around your child. It's
Yeah.
very painful.
Yeah.
I might mask it good, but it's very painful.
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Now I could easily go, the time that I missed,
Mm-hmm.
it could have been made up, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
I could have easily, got into it, whatever the case is. Instead of that, I've always go to the root of why I'm in the predicament as a whole,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So I look at the situation, I assess it, and I keep going back. I unlayer it, right? I go through the layers of it and I
Mm-hmm.
break it down. I go, well, James, if you would have never put yourself in this situation,
That's a fact.
then you
That's
wouldn't
a
have to
fact.
deal with this, but you
Yeah.
did. So
Yeah.
instead of pointing the finger or saying things that are mean or things like that, just
Mm-hmm.
deal with yourself. Because
Yeah.
ultimately, what it comes down to is I'm just hurt that I'm not
Yeah.
around my son. So now I'm looking for a scapegoat,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I don't need a scapegoat for my emotions. I'm just hurt that I'm not with my son. And that's okay because that's
Mm.
how it's supposed to be. But
Yeah.
a man understands his emotions. He doesn't react, he assesses and puts his emotions in the right perspective. So instead of
Mm.
going, I'm mad, I just said, I'm just hurt that
Yeah.
I messed up and this is the repercussions of my actions. Right. And
Oh.
that's it. Right.
And
And
that
that's how I dealt
mindset
with it.
keeps you from complaining.
I don't complain. I just
Yeah.
deal with it.
There's a difference between complaining and have a complaint. It's okay to have a complaint.
Yep.
Your complaint is like, dang, I don't got my son.
Mm-hmm.
That's the complaint.
Yep.
But complaining would be, yo, this, that. See, you have to understand the difference. It's okay to have a complaint like, yo, like if I come home, dang, dishes ain't clean. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna complain about it.
Yep. Yep.
That's just a complaint. The dishes aren't clean. All right. So now I set the situation. I'm gonna go handle it instead of walking around complaining about it. I'm
Exactly.
gonna go do what I gotta do. boys will sit there and complain. Stop complaining. Stop complaining. Go handle business.
Go take care of business.
Go do what you got to do. Stop complaining.
That's so true, and that's why I think that's why I come off so cut and dry, because
Yeah.
people don't realize, you don't know what I deal with mentally.
Mhm.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not easy being away from your son. Like,
Mm.
people don't realize when you're a real parent and you
Yeah.
like, put it like this: I'll never accept the fact that I'm a part-time dad.
Yeah.
I'm not okay
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Right? I deal with it. I don't
Yeah,
complain
exactly.
about it,
Yeah.
but I'm never gonna say that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So when I do get around people who are on that trajectory,
Mm-hmm.
if you're close to me, I'm gonna say something,
Yeah, you have to.
right? But once I realize that you don't want it for yourself, then I'm gonna go, oh, all right, cool. You want this. So I'm gonna let you do what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And when that happens, I'm just gonna look at you. Now, people be like, people always say, oh, you gotta be there for your friends. No.
It takes two. You gotta want it.
It takes two. And on top of that, if I warned you about something and you didn't take heed to my warning, let me tell you why it's very offensive to me. It takes a lot for a man to express his pain.
Yeah.
Openly.
Yeah.
So I'm showing my wounds.
Yeah.
So to me, when you violate or you don't, like, at least take consideration in the sense of, you know what, I know what he's dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I might be messing up, but at least I'm not gonna do it in front of him. Like, at least have enough common courtesy to be like, yo, my boy, you know what I'm saying? I see him dealing with it. He talk about it.
Yeah.
He tell me to rub him on. I'm chilling.
Bro, think about it. If me and you, like, me knowing everything you're going through, we in the gym every day, you telling me about everything you're going through, and I went and put myself in the same exact situation, how disappointed would you have been?
I would have been devastated.
Bro.
Devastated. Like, it's not even, I would have literally been devastated. I don't know if we would have been friends.
Yeah, nah, I believe you.
I don't know if I could have been, because it would have felt almost like an insult to everything that I was telling you about.
We talk about this all the time, and you're gonna do the exact same thing that you see me going through.
Yo.
And it's like, bro, why would you do that? Why?
Nah.
Did you not listen to anything that I said? Like, I'm giving you game.
Fact.
I'm telling you what to expect.
Yep.
I can see the writing on the wall.
Yep.
And you're going to read the writing and say, okay, I'm going to follow that. Even though I know what comes with that, I'm going to go ahead and forget anything that I've heard and go and do exactly what you said not to do.
Nah, it's an ego-driven little boy who don't want to listen to not even instructions. It's just warning.
Yeah.
Right. But, you know, like I said, one of those things where I know, like, I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable in that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm very comfortable. I'm not saying I'm not trying to improve, because I'm always trying to improve, but I'm comfortable in my mind. And I'm governed with the right authority.
Exactly.
So it makes it things that, I might make look easy. It's only literally by the grace of God.
That was facts.
That's literally
a fact.
And a man, we'll end with this. A man understands who the source is. Remember we was talking about? I said, yo, me, I've been hitting, boy. Like, I've been doing my thing, right?
Yeah.
And a boy will go, yeah, I've been getting it. Like, I'm doing my thing, right? But I said to you, I thank God that he gave me the ability to go do my thing.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's a totally different mind frame.
Being able to acknowledge him through everything.
Yeah.
Like, even the little things, like little things around the house that I'm able to do that don't mean nothing to somebody else. I'm like, yo, God, thank you.
Like, you could be like, think about it. You can go, thank you for letting me sit in my room with the house that you provided for me, and you held me down when you didn't have to.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, like, you looked out for me when you didn't have to. Thank you for breath. Yeah. Right? Thank you for air. Thank you for letting my brain operate. Thank you for moving my hands.
That's true humility.
Thank you. Just ultimate humility to the source. Right? Yeah. A man will always do that, because what you realize is the more grateful you are, the more he gives you.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't give you what you want. He gives you what you need. Right? And ultimately, it's like, I can't. Every time I think about it, I'm like, I'm not with my son 50% of the time.
Yeah.
I'm not there to protect him.
Mm.
All I can do is lean on God to protect him. Yo,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's your son. He where he at. I know he's good because he's yours.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
thank you for the time that you did give me with him
Yep.
weekly, because at the end of the day, it's better than nothing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
It's better than what it was. And I
Yep.
know it's going to continue to get better as long as I keep this mind frame. And I'm thankful that you even gave me a healthy mind to
Yeah.
put things in the right perspective. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a man always will have a high sense of humility because you know that you're not in control.
And that's how you be able to continue to grow. If you have that boy mindset, it's going to be hard for you to grow because you think you got it. It's hard for you to humble yourself. You
Mm.
think you this, you think you that, and then you just be stuck there.
Looking
You'll be
fat,
stuck.
sloppy, and annoying.
Facts. Facts. Hey man, it's all in love, man.
Listen, I hope y'all took what we said. You know, like I
Yeah.
said, I mean, honestly, just men, it's just time to mature, man. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all it
Yeah.
comes down to. Grow
Yep.
up, understand your source,
Check yourself.
check yourself daily.
Mm-hmm.
Every thought check, every word check. Make sure everything is in humility, and don't ever get yourself out of line and think that you are the reason why you're in the position you're in.
That's
Because
a
at the
fact.
end of the day, if anything positive happens in your life, it's because God allowed it.
Facts.
Right?
Yep.
Anything negative is based off a bad decision, because God never had bad intentions for you.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Mm-hmm.
something's going wrong in your life, it's because you made the wrong decision.
Yep. Yep.
Just keep that in mind, man.
To my
Anyway,
to my young boys that want to, elevate, keep going. There's going to be ups and downs through the
facts,
process.
facts,
Expect it. It's
hmm
not going to be an easy walk in the road,
facts.
but the key to that is keeping God before anything.
Mm. You know my motto: strive for perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody says you can't be perfect, but you can always make the right decisions. If you
Facts.
consistently make the right decisions, you'll find peace in your life, and ultimately you'll be excellent. Other than that, we'll holler
Gang
at y'all
gang.
next week. Later.